Welcome, everyone. I am Judge Angel. Thank you for joining the show today. We are so honored to have you with us. Our first guest is Dr. Mary House, and she's going to explain cryptocurrency to us. Our second guest is Mr. Michael Quintet, who is the director, producer, and leader of the great band Platinum Plus. Stay with us. You will be entertained. I'm Judge Angel, and I was his full-time sitting judge for over 2 decades. I've seen a few things, but there's good in everyone. And we are here to motivate and encourage you to be all stars. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. We are so blessed today. Our guest is Dr. Mary House. Yes, the very one that you know and you've heard about and you've heard speak, the wonderful, charming Dr. Mary House. Mm-hmm. She's a motivator, she's a business owner, and she's also the First Lady of Mountaintop Ministries. Mary, thank you for joining us.
Oh, it's such a blessing. You know, I love you so much, and I feel so very honored, so very blessed to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're in that happy land, folks. Now, people might not know that you're the CEO of CH&R, which is Caring, Helping, and Restoring. Okay?
Yes.
Tell us a bit about that organization.
Well, that is our faith-based nonprofit organization that Pastor and I founded in 1996. And it started off just helping people. Then we went into employment and training. And then from there, I've now become a clean energy advocate for environmental justice, as well as an advocate for women who are survivors of domestic violence. And I love that work.
Oh, absolutely. You help so many people. And, you know, people talk about you all the time, of how you have just blessed their homes and taught them so much. So you have a legacy, not only in your church, but also through your CHR nonprofit. It's so wonderful. You also have and CEO of Mary House Ministries. What is that?
Now, that's something I launched in the last probably 4 or 5 years, starting my own branding. And Mary House Ministries, my base, my branding is wisdom from the house. And so, you know, I love it. That's what I do. You feel it. God gave me that, and he was like, you know, I've asked him for wisdom in every area of my life. And so people always say, you know, you have so much wisdom. And I said, well, Lord, what do I call it? And he says, call it wisdom from the house. So we have wisdom from the house workshops on wisdom on using your time, wisdom on day-to-day activities, wisdom on finding you. And so God gave me, how do you find you? Well, first you've got to face it, erase it, then replace it. And then what was the wisdom that you learned from it? So I have published a workbook that walks you through those areas of your life to help you find you. And so, love that.
Love it. And please promise me you are coming back with the workbook.
Yes.
So we can see and go through that, please.
Oh, absolutely. I would love to do that. Yes. So that's how Wisdom House started, but Mary House Ministry started, and it is through that Wisdom on Finding You brand.
And that's what this show is about. I tell people this show is for you and about you and to help you. That's why we're here.
Yes.
Judge Angel's All Stars, and you're all stars. We claim it, we receive it, and we send it out in the universe for you.
Yes, we do.
Well, Dr. House, you do the CHR, Caring, Helping, Restoring. You do the Mary House Ministries, helping people find out who they are so that they can give and help other people.
Right.
And now you're starting a new venture.
Yes.
She forever stays in the present, okay? Always looking toward the future. And it's a cryptocurrency.
Yeah, it's
venture?
a cryptocurrency hedge fund. And so, first of all, you know, people ask, well, what is cryptocurrency and then what's a hedge fund? So you know what? I thought, I'm not going to just go off the top of my head. Let's talk about it.
Yes.
And so what is cryptocurrency? Really, it's a decentralized digital money that is based on a blockchain technology and secured by cryptographics. And so what is cryptocurrency? Have you ever used Zelle to give somebody money, or Cash App?
Just today.
Okay, so when you do that, you're not using physical money.
No.
It is digital. So people been in the world of digital currency and not even understanding that's what it is. If you've ever had your app on your phone from your bank and you took a picture of it and it deposited that check into your account,
yes,
that's a cryptocurrency called XRP, but it is a digital currency. So we've been using it but not understanding it's been around for a minute, and we're just figuring out, oh, that's what that's really called. Because cryptocurrency is nothing but digital currency being used when you're not using physical money.
Now, you started a group, Brick House Group.
Yeah, Brick House Trading Group. My daughter and I do this together,
Oh.
and I love it. You know, she's my partner in life,
Yeah.
and that's what I tell her. You know, you are my partner in life, and she's my business partner. She also runs all of my husband and our businesses. So, you know, she got a
Smart
degree
girl.
in finance. Yeah, she's amazing. And so, when I hear about things, Judge Angel, it is so important that we share.
Yes.
Now, what you do with that information is your business, but you can never say, you know, nobody told me that. And so, have you ever been, and you've been around your friends, and they'll say, you know, oh yeah, I invested in that, and you're like, well, why didn't you tell me when you got in, right? Has anybody ever had that happen? You know, you say, well, why they tell you after they done made their dollars and they thousands or millions of dollars, and it's like, and now it's too late. Well, this particular company is called Novatech. And what Novatech is, it's a cryptocurrency hedge fund. And what that means is really you take and you make an investment and say if I took $1,000 and I'm going to just put it in this hedge fund, but you do it using digital currency, cryptocurrencies. But what they're doing with this particular investment is it reaps you anywhere from 2 to 3% interest per week.
That's
What
pretty good,
gives you
because
that?
I was just going to say, right now my bank account is giving me, and I just saw this, 0.01.
Right.
No kidding.
None.
None.
And, then, and at the end of the month, what does that look like? Pennies.
If I'm lucky.
Yeah.
Seriously, it would go up 1 penny
Yeah.
on the statement. If, but not every month.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And so when you see something like this, and I've been involved with it long enough now to know it, I've never missed a week where I didn't get an interest payment. Never missed a week, and I've been in since January.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you have to have like $10,000
No,
to
you can start as low as, and we say as low as $250 to be smart, but you can go up to whatever. So you can, it's no limit to how much you can invest, but the lowest amount would be about $250 to make it work, because there's a $25, you know, service fee every month. So you want to make sure that you're not using your service fee up with the interest you're making. You want it to progress.
Yes, yes, indeed. Now, so the $250 to start, do you have to recruit people and
absolutely
get people
not.
to come in
Absolutely
and join
not.
and have 10 members at each?
Not at all. You don't
Ooh.
have to do nothing but invest, and then you put it in and you just roll over your interest every week. So once a week, when you get, like every Friday, they put the interest in your account, and you take that and you pour it back in to your account, so they have that additional money every week, and that's called compound interest.
Yes.
Now, we understand compounding interest means that it's not just a regular thing, so you're just pouring it over. What happens is now
Interest on interest.
right?
Yes.
You pour it back in your account and you let it ride, and you could think, you know, there's absolutely there's no guarantee. However, nothing's guaranteed, but at this point, it's been working, and I don't know anybody that has not made money that's been in it. It's been 100%.
Well,
Turn
that's
around.
a good recommendation, and as you said, nothing's guaranteed. It's not guaranteed in any form where you go to the stock market.
Absolutely.
You put your money in, and you get whatever happens. Any news of the government, then all of a sudden, you know, your stock is falling.
Right.
So it's definitely worth a try. Should we go to BrickHouseTradingGroup.com to get more information?
Absolutely.
And we'll have it at the bottom of the screen, and we will also put it on the website, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Dr. Mary House, thank you so much. I'm
what a
so
blessing.
honored. Thank you for sharing new information with us. We
And you
love
know
it.
what? Finances is the key. And as we were talking earlier, I do want to just say, you know, the Bible says that God gives us the ability to get wealth. And so he just doesn't give it to you. He gives you the ability. And here is a stream that gives you that ability to leave legacy. Financial legacy.
Yes.
You know, that Rockefeller Kennedy type of legacy that in our homes we are not seeing, but we need to see all races, colors, and creeds leave legacy for their children, because a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children.
Yes,
and so I'm so grateful to be on here and share such an opportunity to your audience, and I hope that I just get blown up after this.
I do too. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing such good information. And we're going to see you next time with that workbook.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Good. Excellent. Here's another motivational moment. Be happy for this moment is your life.
Hi, my name's Mike Faust. I work for First Choice Business Brokers. If you own your own business and you think that at some point in the future you may want to sell that business, I hope you'll take a moment and give me a call at the number you see below. We may be able to make changes in the way you've structured your business or in your record keeping that could impact the value of your business in the future, so that when you are ready to sell, you'll be able to get the most money possible for that business. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Here's another motivational moment. Most people are about as happy as they make up their minds to be. Welcome back. We're so glad to have you. And we have a great, outstanding guest, Mr. Malcolm Quintet. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Angel.
Tell us about your professional music career.
My professional music career started in the church, as a lot of musicians and performers do. Mine was with the church. My grandfather was a minister in the African Methodist Episcopal Church, Reverend Nolan T. Jones, and from that I joined the choir, the youth choir, and I was good in the youth choir, so I was advanced to the adult choir. And so I learned how to sing in church, get the feel for music and the love for great music and vocalists.
Yes, a lot of people don't understand it, but in the African American community, the moms were like, you are going to church. There was no question. It's not, do you want to go to church? You are going to church. And the church was a great center of community and the best music you ever wanted to hear. I mean, just wonderful. People would be in the church. I knew a girl, she sounded like Aretha Franklin, but she didn't want to do popular music, so she just only sang in the church. So that's why we all have church beginnings.
It is a blessing. It is a blessing.
A blessing, a blessing.
But that kind of gave you a grounding too, because the people in the church were your community. And like you say, if they pull your coattail, as we used to say, if they see something that was out of line, and it helped me stay grounded with my grandmother and my mother, founded in the church.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you joined the youth choir, and then what did you do in music?
Then junior high school. I joined the junior high school band, and at the time I wanted to be a drummer, and they didn't have any drums. So I learned how to play the saxophone. So I learned the saxophone and the flute, and that was my beginning. And I stayed through junior high school, and into college, staying with music and just devoting myself to it because I loved it so much, and it just meant so much to me. I could tell that was a heartthrob for me, and something that meant a lot for me.
Where it wasn't work, you were just doing it and enjoying it.
Just loving it.
Did you ever learn to play the drums?
I did, actually, and it's interesting because I just learned that over the past year or so during the COVID. While being at home and homebound, I learned to play the drums, the bass guitar, and the vibes.
Oh, wow.
So
You're just
I
a
pushed
music
myself.
prodigy.
I
That's
pushed
all you
myself.
are, so it makes sense.
It did.
Where was your first professional performance?
My first professional performance, I was 17 years old, and in Ogden, Utah, which is where I was born.
Nice.
So in Ogden, Utah, there was a black nightclub that was called the Legion, the American Legion. And there was the only black nightclub in Utah at that time. So a lot of the black, performers and also people that were out in the clubs would come to Ogden, Utah, because that was the only black nightclub. So everything happened there. You have the church people coming there, and you have the street people coming there, and you have a variety of things happening at the Legion. And when I was 17 years old, my dad and my uncle ran the American Legion. And so that gave me the opportunity to play there with some great musicians and perform for the first time and get paid for it.
That was wonderful. Well, it sounds like your family was just very musical in general, with your uncles and with them being in the Legion and working there and managing it there. Were they performers also?
No, they weren't. That's interesting, because I'm the only one in my whole family that is musically inclined. Everyone else was working around it in different ways, as far as having the nightclub and being loving music. But I was the only one that really has played an instrument and sang in my family.
They were gatekeepers for you.
Gatekeepers.
You could come along.
Supporters.
Yes. Well, while you were in high school, did you get any scholarships or awards?
When I was in high school, it was fantastic because, first of all, the black students that went to Ogden High School were bused from the west side to the east side. So you had a little difference in. Now, this is during the time when the riots were going on, segregation was happening, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and so there's a lot of activity going on that way. So it kind of gave me a grounds or a root as to who I was and to who I wanted to be and what I could do to help myself and to hopefully help others.
Absolutely.
So I used that experience in trying to lead in that direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you went along, and then what happened in your life?
Then I decided it was interesting because I was offered an opportunity to go to West Point Academy.
Nice.
But it was a congressional appointment by Senator Gunn McKay, I believe, out of Utah. And instead of doing that, I decided I wanted to put my band together and take my band to Canada on a tour.
Excuse me, I have to ask you, how did you get that appointment to West Point?
Well,
that's big.
It is very big. And Gunn McKay, Senator Gunn McKay, was also my high school history teacher.
Oh, okay.
So we got to know each other just in class, and he thought I could handle that situation, and he thought a lot of me, and I thought a lot of him. And he asked me would I want to at least consider that opportunity, and so he gave me that opportunity, which was great. And I unfortunately passed it only because of music. I thought I could do something more with my music career that was more along the lines of what I was hoping for in my life and working toward.
Yes, and it worked out well. But now, was the teacher a senator, or was he a teacher, then he ran for the Senate and offered you the appointment?
He was a senator, I believe, before. He was
and came back to
correct.
Give back to the school.
To the school, right. Senator Gunn McKay. Yes.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful. But continue on. So you stayed with music.
So I stayed with music, and of course I wasn't
You were focused. That was very
I was very focused. And of course that focus put me in a bad spot. Of course, my dad, because he thought that was the opportunity that I should have taken. And so that leads me to say, you have to go with your heart. And you have to go with what feels good to you and what you believe is yourself. And he understood that. And luckily I stayed with that opportunity, and I put a band together, a show band, like 8-piece band together. And we toured Canada. It was supposed to be a 6-week gig, and it turned to 7 years.
Whoa.
Playing all of the top Hilton and Sheraton hotel circuits throughout Canada. So it was fantastic, from Victoria to Winnipeg, Montreal. So it was just fantastic.
Oh, Oh, how grand. That's
And that
wonderful.
redeemed me with my dad and with my family, you know, for going with my goal and for what I thought was important to me and what I thought I could bring to myself and
to the community and the public. But you were successful. That's what's so grand. And people
Very
were
successful.
like loving it. That is wonderful.
It was successful.
And Canada is so beautiful.
The people are wonderful.
Yes.
The people are wonderful,
kind.
accommodating, supportive, and I loved working and living in Canada. And we were the top nightclub act in Canada the last 3 years we were there, so that made it very nice. And we were very, very fortunate and very appreciative for the opportunity we had, and we took advantage of it.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That is so great. So you started your band, and you were touring Canada. You became the #1 band. Then what happened?
Then we started opening shows for different
Entertainers.
for entertainers, for Tower of Power, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Commodores,
Nice.
Diana Ross
Okay.
at the Salt Palace there. And so that was kind of led us to a different direction. And so we went from that, from opening shows and being kind of headliner that way, into recording studio. And that's where we changed the band to Platinum Plus, which is another group that I played with and we performed with. And we had a couple songs that we worked out with them, and it was very, very advantageous as well.
Yes, yes. We've heard great things about your group, Platinum Plus.
Platinum
it's called.
Plus.
Yeah, we're going to show some film of that.
Oh, great.
Is so great, right? Now, you worked with just some of everybody. You worked with Alicia Keys.
Well, I haven't worked with Alicia Keys, but I have some songs that I'm working on that I think is going to be in her vein. Or I have a song that she actually wrote herself or put out that I flipped, and it's like the flip side. Yes, modified it.
See, folks, here we are. He's saying he's not a writer. Yes, you are a writer.
Yes, I am a writer.
Multi-talented. That is so wonderful. So you took one of Alicia Keys' songs,
Yes.
and now you're modifying it and presenting it to her.
Correct.
To see if she would like to record it.
Exactly.
Now, what about John Legend?
The same with him. There's a song that Aretha Franklin wrote that I don't want to really say the song right now because it's not at that point. But
Yeah, okay.
there's a song that she wrote that I flipped as well. It's in his vein. I'm hoping that he will,
I hope
be interested in that
so.
opportunity
I
as
hope
well.
So. You know, Riri is my girl. I'm from Detroit. I love some Riri. Anytime I hear her voice on a record, it's like I'm there. I'm in the zone. It's so wonderful.
And this is one of her fun songs. So I think the flip side of it, the answer to the female voice and the female direction of it, to the male direction, yes.
Oh, it's going to be nice.
It's kind of fun. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And there's a song that I think is important. It was written by Eric Clapton that I have flipped as well and taken it from Can't Find My Way Home to Must Find My Way Home. And I'm hoping to use that for an addiction format to help
great.
people understand that there is help out there and there's a way that we can all help each other through that.
Absolutely. There's a redemption.
Correct.
You know, because you have a problem today does not mean you will always have a problem. And truth be told, when people really talk to each other and try and listen to each other, you'll find out that most people have had to climb a mountain or two. It's not straight. It's not
That's
straight
correct.
up. It's rocky.
That's
But
correct.
those rocky times make people stronger, wiser, and I hope to be more compassionate. You know, let's not judge each other so quickly. If a person's having a bad day, let's try and think, maybe their morning didn't go so well.
Correct.
So that makes it different.
And we've all lost people or had friends in that situation. So I'm
Yes.
hoping to shed a little more light to that with a song that can use as a format.
Some love, yes. So what did you do during COVID?
During COVID, luckily I helped my wife because I used to work with IBM for 25 years. I retired. And so now my wife is still working for IBM. So I became the wife figure in the house. We changed roles a little bit. And I did the cooking
The
and
husband
cleaning
wife.
and just loved, she's wonderful and it was just great to support her.
Yes.
And and I also learned how to play the flute. I mean the drums,
Yes,
and the bass guitar and the vibes. So I stayed busy. I used it as an opportunity to push myself and stay focused.
Yes. You have been helped by so many people. Who would you think, not the top two, just two people that really influenced you in your life? Not, they don't have to be ranked, because that's
Right.
You had so many.
Oh, there's been so many.
Influences.
There's been so many. The first I would have to say is my 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Goodwin. She went through a lot in keeping those students at that time from going astray. And every day I'd come and I would just see her fight hard for us, you know, and see her to really give us a direction, a positive direction. And yes, good for her. And the other person I would think is interesting, it would be Tom Jones. We opened the show for Tom Jones in Las Vegas, here in Las Vegas. And I was talking with him because I used to watch his show. You know, This Is Tom Jones, the show that came on, and I used to just kind of study him. And I remember after we opened the show for him, I talked with him, and he said, the main thing is to keep the women happy. You know, make sure they enjoy the show. If the women enjoy the show, the guys will be there. But and he also just taught me how to have the love that you feel inside come out. You know, do what you have to do to express that and have that come out. And so I would think Tom Jones and Mrs. Goodwin would probably be my main inspirations.
That is so beautiful, and I like the advice Tom shared with you.
Yes.
Because I agree with that. When a person is just into their song, you don't even have to like the song, but you have to sit back and say, oh,
that's
okay.
true. You feel it. You feel that.
Oh, very powerful.
Very powerful. And that was a great
what's
lesson.
next for you? What do you plan to do next?
Well, like I said, I'm trying to work on a few projects here as far as getting songs to the right people.
Yes.
To have them heard.
Yes.
And staying positive as a 70-year-old, just turned 70-year-old, saying that 70 is the new 50.
Okay.
And you know, like we're still motivated, we're still driven, and I think we should push yourselves. You know, don't stop.
No.
Don't hold back, and don't listen sometimes to those around you that are pulling you in a different direction.
Malcolm, thank you so much for joining us. We are so pleased to have you here. And this is just our first interview with him. He will come back, and we're also going to have his wife, Stephanie, come on and talk about her career, which is very exciting. So we thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Angel. And I would just want to say, Angel, your platform that you use to help motivate, educate, and inspire helps us all. So thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. I'll see you next time.
We shall. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. We hope you've had a good time watching the show. Let me hear from you. Who would you like to see? What would you like to learn about? This is a show for you and about you. You are our all-stars. Remember, email me, 702-YesYouCan@gmail.com. See you next time. Come on!